Please like my videos, please subscribe to my channel, and please press the bell icon so that you get to know when my latest video has come. And to learn more and to find a video relevant to you, please do check out my videos list.
Hello, Namaskar and Adab to all my friends from your friend astrologer and guide Irfan. Once more with you from your very own channel Astro Assurance. Sometimes we feel as if our life is going downhill, nothing seems to be working, and we seem to be facing one challenge after the other. Now, it's easier to handle even a big problem one at a time. So if there is only a health issue, everything is hunky-dory, then we can take a break till our health gets back on track, and then we assume life or restart our lives or our active life once again. If it's only a relationship challenge, everything else is hunky-dory, then we can focus more on the relationship for some time till things get back on track. However, if 3 or 4 things attack us at the same time, for example, you find that there are things going downhill in your career, at the same time your relationship is also taking a hit, and suddenly you also have this bout of health or even a chronic illness which you are not able to do much about. So when you face 3 or 4 challenges at the same time from multiple angles, that's a tough time for us. And if there are other things which also get added on, for example, friends giving a challenge with children, neighborhood not being good, or your investments not doing very well, property issues coming up, there can be various things which can attack us from time to time. So the more number of challenges that hit us, the more challenges we are not able to handle, and so many of us may even give up, saying that it's too much for us, we are not able to do much about it. So if there are multiple things which seem to be attacking you one after the other, or if there is a phase which has started and you seem to be having met this phase for some time now and you just don't seem to be coming out of it, then this could be a bad phase for you. It could be starting off a series of challenges for you. And if this is a regular thing which has been happening for some time, then definitely this is a cause of concern for you. So why does this happen, and what can we do about such sudden failures one after the other that are hitting us, which does not seem to be giving us any respite, does not seem to be giving us any chance to get out? Now, why does this happen in the first place? There are 3 or 4 main reasons according to Vedic astrology, because of which you may be facing multiple challenges, multiple failures one after the other, and not finding any solutions to them, or not being able to extract yourself out of it. The first and foremost is a bad dasha could be the reason. Now, if it's just a bad dasha, the entire dasha may not be bad. For example, the longer dashas of Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn and Rahu, these long dashas, entire dashas may not be bad, certain antar dashas may be bad. And sometimes the first phase of the dasha may not be very good, or the middle phase of the dasha may not be very good, or the end phase of the dasha may not be good. You will never face a situation where the entire dasha is completely disastrous. The disaster will come to you in patches or in phases. So sometimes you may hit a bad dasha, because of which you are facing challenges. However, a bad dasha alone will not give you multiple challenges from various facets, from various areas. The dasha will activate those houses which the planet rules, and more or less you will face challenges from those areas. However, if the dasha lord is in a strong malefic placement and placed with malefics or attracting challenges from various aspects, then those aspects also get activated during the bad dasha. The malefics are also activated, and the houses that the malefics rule also get activated. So one could be a tough dasha, that too of a malefic in your horoscope, a maraka in your horoscope, and on top of it, it is placed with malefics. Malefics are also activated, or it is getting connected through malefics through bad aspects. Then the dasha will throw up challenges one after the other, and whichever houses the dasha lord rules, and if it's conjunct with another planet, that planet also rules. All those 3 or 4 houses get activated negatively, and if there is a malefic aspect or malefic conjunction, on apart from a bad conjunction which already that dasha lord is in, then multiple challenges from various phases of life can come in, from various areas of life can come in, and you will face one challenge after the other. There will seem to be no respite, and not an easy answer how to handle this. And if you are not aware of your your astrological placements and which dasha is giving you what challenges, what malefics are giving you what challenges, what aspects are playing a negative role, then you will feel helpless. You will not be able to do anything about it. So here a very strong awareness of your horoscope is very, very important when you're facing one challenge after the other in your life, and one failure after the other, or one roadblock after the other, or one obstacle after the other is continuously facing you, and you're not able to extract yourself out of it. So first and foremost is the bad dasha. The second can be a bad transit. A bad transit such as that of, say for example, a Sadesati. Sadesati is nothing but the transit of Saturn over your natal position of the moon in your birth horoscope. So wherever moon is placed in your horoscope, where in the transit in Gochar, when Saturn goes through the penultimate house to it, and then the same house and the next house, those 7.5 years, Saturn will be in a house roughly for 2.5 years. So when it goes through the second last house to moon's placement in the horoscope, 2.5 years in that house, then in the house where moon is placed, 2.5 years in that house, and the next house that the Saturn transits into, or the second to moon, again 2.5 years. So those 2.5 years, 7.5 years, hence the word Sadesati, which means 7.5. So these 7.5 years can be tough period for you. Now everybody who is going through a Sadesati will not face disastrous results. Some of us may face less challenges, some of us may face more challenges. If Saturn is very, very strong, some of us must have had even a purple patch, a better time period in the life during that phase. But unless the Saturn is placed in a very tough placement, in a bad dosha with strong malefics, only then the Sadesati period can be a very challenging period for you, and various areas of your life all come crashing down. This happens more or less when Saturn is either combusted or debilitated or retrograde in your horoscope. So if you have Saturn debilitated in your horoscope, especially in the Kendra houses, then during the Sadesati you may face tough challenges, such challenges from various facets which you are not able to do much about. For example, Saturn in a bad dosha and combusted or debilitated in the 4th house, then 4th house is the house of your material benefits, also your mental happiness and domestic happiness and mental peace, that gets affected. Material tangible things get affected, so your house, your vehicles, jewelry, your assets all come under a duress. Apart from your happiness, your peace of mind also coming under duress. If Saturn is in a bad dosha during Sadesati, either in the Lagna or your 10th house, then your status in society, your earning potential, your career, your relationship with people at work, all seem to be getting affected. So depending on which house Saturn is placed in your horoscope, which house it is transiting over in its transit, which malefics are getting activated with Saturn during its Sadesati, tough placements can come about, tough challenges may come about, tough situations may come about. Other transits, for example, that of Jupiter. Jupiter's transit is only for a year. However, if Jupiter is transiting one after the other through tough placements, through tough signs in your horoscope, for example, last 3-4 years, Jupiter has been going through some very, very tough placements. Jupiter transiting through Scorpio, then over Sagittarius, but in place along with Ketu and Saturn, then now through Capricorn. All these 3.5-4 years are the tough transits for Jupiter, and hence we see all over the world really tough situations happening because Saturn is also going through Capricorn. And retrograde motion, direct motion is happening one after the other. So there are these changes also which are happening from time to time in pandemic, social situation, social upheavals. Wars are happening in some places, some parts of the world between Armenia and Azerbaijan, we surely know. political upheavals are happening, governments are toppling, all sorts of things are happening. Even very, very popular governments are now under a question mark or under a focus. So all these challenges are happening because Jupiter is going through some tough transits. So if Jupiter is not well placed in your horoscope and Jupiter is going through some tough transits along with some other tough transits happening over your Lagna, or your Sadesati is happening, is on, or a tough Dasha is also happening, coinciding of Jupiter's transit. So the transit combined with Dasha will also create tough challenges. So some of the most tough challenges come to us when the Dasha and Antar Dasha also is tough and there is a tough transit. For example, that of a bad Jupiter or even a bad Saturn. The other is if there is a tough transit or for Rahu or a Ketu, over either your Kendra houses or over your trine houses, and they are very, very strongly afflicted in your horoscope. Firstly, Rahu and Ketu are very strongly malefic planets. On top of that, how do you get Rahu and Ketu to be very malefic? When you add another malefic to it, either Saturn plays with Rahu in a Shrapit dosha, or Mars plays with Rahu in an Angakaraka dosha, or Ketu plays with Moon, or the eclipsing Saturn or Sun in important planets which are which connected to a career or connected to your rise and shine or shining bright or doing well in life, then definitely the transit of Rahu and Ketu over your trine houses or Kendra houses can bring challenges, a bout of challenges for those 2, 3, 4 years of life, one after the other, if you go through tough challenges or tough placements or tough transits happening over Kendra houses or trine houses. The other is if malefics are strongly activated for a long period of time. So 2 or 3 malefics are placed in certain houses and they get activated because the dasha of the planet is on, which is conjunct with them. Or the malefics are also activated because the malefics are in a bad dosha with the planet which is either transiting or the planet which is the dasha lord. Then the malefics get strongly activated, and till the dasha of the period is on, of the lord, the dasha is on with which the malefics are conjunct, the malefics are strongly activated. So through the entire dasha, specifically during the antar dasha of those malefics and transits over them, the challenges or the issues will be activated, and one after the other issues can come upon you. The other is when the dusthanas are strongly activated and malefics also join the party. When the 6th, 8th and the 12th house is activated. For example, Saturn transiting through a 6th house, then your 7th house, and then the 8th house, one after the other. And through tough signs. For example, Saturn transit through Cancer in the 6th house, through Leo in the 7th house, and then Virgo in the 8th house. These are tough signs for Saturn to transit through. This can happen, for example, for an Aquarius ascendant native. For a Taurus ascendant native, Saturn transiting through the 12th house, where it gets debilitated in Aries, then over Taurus in the Lagna. So though it for a Taurus ascendant native it is a Yoga Karaka, still because it is over the Lagna, Saturn will slow down the money making capacity of yours, and because it is the Lagna, various areas of your life also get affected. And then the second house after that, which is the house of earning potential, your livelihood. So those 6-7 years can also be tough period for you when Saturn goes through a tough transit, and the dusthanas 6, 8 or 12 also get activated. So either a bad dasha, tough transits like Sadesati or bad Jupiter, or malefics getting activated or dusthanas getting activated can bring a string of problems one after the other. And last but not the least, if everything seems to be hunky-dory, your karma can be playing up. Your karma plays up if life has given you enough opportunity, you have not done much about it. One after the other, life has given you opportunities to correct your karma, correct those relationships, which karmic debt you are carrying, you have not done anything about it, that the karma makes you pay. So then you face a string of challenges one after the other, obstacles, health issues, relationship issues, your earning potential, your career, your friendship, your mental peace, all seem to be going downhill because the karma is at play now. So then during that phase, you will face multiple challenges, multiple phases, multiple issues one after the other. So when such a thing happens, when a bad dasha is on, or a bad transit is on, or your Sadesati is on, the malefics are getting activated, or the dusthanas are getting activated, or bad karmic debt is payback time for you, then firstly, it's important to understand your horoscope very well. Most of us know our horoscopes decent enough to understand how and where the placements are. But when you're facing tough challenges, then a more deep dive analysis of the horoscope is important to understand where the challenges is coming from, so that you can do something about it, or at least reduce the afflictions, reduce the challenges, and have an easier time. Because if you do nothing about it and you think that it's just a passing phase and it is going to get over, you may go much more murkier and deeper into the quicksand of life, and you may not be able to extricate yourself on time. So if you're facing multiple failures one after the other and you've hit a bad phase for some time, it's high time you look into your horoscope, understand your placement, understand the dasha and antardasha, understand the transits, and do something about it. Try and take protective actions, try and reduce the affliction of malefics, increase the strength of your benefics, do those activities which will reduce the strength of the malefics, increase the strength of the benefics, and try and live a more ethical life, a life of more donations, helping out people, and understanding the purpose of your life. If you don't understand the goal of your life, if you're living a purposeless life, you don't have a purpose in life, and you are carrying a karmic debt, then karma will always come to roost and come to play. So friends, if you're going through a tough placement, tough period in your life, understand your placements, understand the transits, understand the dasha and antardasha, and try and take some action, because of which you will be able to face the easier time rather than get absorbed into the quicksand and drown. So friends, like this video, share this video, and if you're looking for a personal consultation from me, please reach out to me with the link given below. Until some other time with some other video, this is your friend astrologer and guide Irfan signing off. Ciao.